the ANC is exiting. Let me be clear. The African National Congress is leaving the center stage of our politics. Now, when someone dies and you bury this person, you must write on the epitaph, right? What killed this person? Two things we are going to write. And I'm a writer, I'll write the stuff. Killed by incompetence and corruption, full stop. That's when everything said and done, the priest has delivered his whatever, killed by incompetence and corruption. And the party went mad in its last days. That's the ANC. So that's the story.
Well, I think Prince there is 100% right. ANC, corruption, incompetence. If those things didn't exist, I don't think South Africa would be where it is today. Anyway, let me give you an example. South Africa has got a population of 64 million people and growing. And out of those 64 million people and counting, there's about 28 million people that are on social grants. And 7.4 million of those people, they're the ones who are carrying the tax burden, so to speak, in South Africa. Now, help me understand this. How can a capable and a competent and a not corrupt government lead us into a situation whereby almost half of the population is on social grants? And anybody in their right mind will know that there is no way we can be able to sustain ourselves as South Africans, or South Africa incorporated, South Africa as a country, whereby half of your population is dependent on the contribution of the 7.4 million people, you know, in terms of the fiscus, in terms of the money coming in, and 28 million, half of the population almost is sitting on grants. And in that mix, it's not only old people who are getting social grants. There's children who are getting grants. There's young people who are getting grants. There's disability grants and all those things. And I don't want to believe that the people who are on social grants, they are there because they want to. I like to believe that they are there because of desperate situations that they might be in. And these grants, they are coming in handy. They're helping one way or the other. But I want us to think as South Africans that, can we live like this? For how long can we live like this? For how long can we let the same people who put us in this mess? ANC has been in leadership position for the last 30 years. How do we expect the same people who put us in this mess to get us out of this mess? And it's so frustrating for me, and especially because when you look at the alternatives, the other parties are not coming up with cogent policies. Other parties, they're not coming up with elegant solutions, so to speak, in order for how you're going to reduce this number of 28 million people out of social grants, because huge amounts of billions, whenever the Minister of Finance is allocating money, these billions, they go to social grants. They could be going to so many different things that will be helpful to the society, as it were. But they have to go to the social grants, and because a lot of people in those grants, they need those. But and when I think about that how long do you think this can be sustained as a country? Because clearly we are unable to create enough jobs. Clearly we are unable to come up with policies that will be able to stimulate growth, foreign investments and things like that. And I know ANC has been preaching this thing of getting foreign direct investments and removing red tape in order for business to, like, they are unable to do those basic things. I believe, at least in where I'm standing, that if they were to do those things, I don't think we'll be sitting in this type of situation where the majority of the money is going to the grants and all that. So let me know what you think about this. I do not know. In fact, what I know is this: like, there is no way the ANC can be able to resolve the situation that we're in. That's my humble opinion. And also, I'm frustrated because I don't hear other people talking about how we're going to take these 28 million people, 30 million if you like, off the social grants, so that at least the money that SARS is collecting is able to go for the benefit of infrastructure development, hiring more doctors, nurses, teachers, all these services that South Africa needs in order for us to progress as a country, invest in businesses and things like that. And yeah, so please let me know what you think, and why is it that we're putting up with such incompetence? And you know, somebody was saying that you know, if you dug yourself in a hole, if you find yourself like in a hole, and one of the first things that you need to do is to stop digging. And the ANC cannot seem to stop digging the hole that they're putting South Africa in at this point in time. So let me know what you think, and why are we putting up with the incompetence of the ANC, you know? And why aren't other parties stepping up, giving us hope and say, hey, here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do it, and all of that. It was so disappointing, even during the elections in 2024, people were campaigning. And one of my biggest pet peeve was, as it will be for most of you guys, it's always been load shedding. And none of them were giving proper solution as to how they're going to solve the load shedding issue. You know, all we hear is that, yeah, we're going to fire people and all those type of things. Great. But how are you going to resolve the issue of load shedding? And they couldn't come up with anything. And I'm so disappointed that we have such a weak opposition in South Africa. But nonetheless, it is what it is. So thanks again for tuning in. Be so kind and subscribe and like our videos. Thanks again for all those who are supporting us, and those who subscribe, and those who've liked our videos in the past. And there's no way we can grow without you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye-bye.